Hello and welcome everybody to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will and I am your host for today as we are checking out the new features, the latest update from Roll20. This is the latest SRD update for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition in particular, which I want to be looking at because I think it is rather incredible. So, I'm going to be starting a new game here to show you guys everything which is going on. We're just going to call it my first game, and of course you can go ahead and go to roll20.net. If you have no idea what this website is, you'll find it so easily if you just search for Roll20. So you're going to go down here to pick what game you're playing. So under Dungeons & Dragons, previously we'd either be using the community contributed or the 5th edition shaped sheets. Now instead we're going to be doing OGL by Roll20. So click on that. You can see right up ahead there's new character sheets, but let's in fact just get into it. I'm ready, create game. So, there's a bunch of new features coming out due to the fact that OGL is now a thing for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We now have access to a whole load of new content which we didn't have before, and oh boy, have Roll20 made use of it. It is a massive step forward. So let me show you right here what I'm talking about. So, let's create a character sheet. To have one here, and so we're just going to create a character, all players, save changes, and they're going to go to the character sheet. Now then, what we have is slightly different from what you might be previously used to. So the SRD5 Roll20 update has changed a few things. You have your class up here, it's now changeable. You can actually have a drop-down menu, which changes to, you can change it to monk, you can change it to all of the classes, and it actually changes the skills down here for you, the save bonuses that you have. That is pretty amazing. You can change normal things that you would, like character name, from as inspiration, you can tick these things, put in armor class, your initiative, your speed, all these normal things, nothing too revolutionary here. So I want to be a ranger, okay, it changes this stuff for me, that's neat. Sure, but nothing out of the ordinary maybe. Okay, here is where we come into some crazy stuff. So we're going to go onto the spells tab, and here I'm going to add a spell. And I have all of these things here which previously I would have to fill out myself, such as the name, the school, the casting time, the range, all of these criteria which I would have to put in myself, usually. Now, here is what I think is pretty incredible about the update. So, what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to click on this information button up the top here. This says 5th edition SRD, and now it has a list of things: backgrounds, category index, classes, feats, items, miscellaneous, monsters, races, rules, spells. This is incredible, what you're about to see. If you've been using Roll20 like I have, and having to put everything in by yourself, prepare to be amazed. I want to use the spell Anti-Magic Field. I want to drag this into my character sheet. What I do is I drag it, I click, and suddenly I have Anti-Magic Field, all of the information I could possibly need on this spell, straight from the PHB in my character sheet. Then click on this little setting button here. Okay, so then I want to cast a spell. So I click on Anti-Magic Field. Bam! I have Anti-Magic Field cast for me right here. All the information I need on it straight there without having to copy and paste every single thing into it that I would normally have to do. That is, for me, game changing. This works for all of the spells. There's a whole list of them here. It may not be comprehensive, I'm not sure. There are a few changes needed to be made to this update, and I'm sure Roll20 are going to go ahead and fix them as soon as they can. This is by no means 100% finished version, but I say it's about 95% of the way there, in my opinion. So, okay, let's go on to some other stuff to your GM. So, wow, as a player, incredible. Let's talk about rules. So, I've got a player who's never played the game before. He needs to look up some terms as we're playing the game. He has no idea what armor is. He's got no idea how the armor rules work. Now he has to click two buttons to find rules on armor. That gives you the AC, gives you heavy armor, gives you rules on shield, stealth, light armor, medium armor, the breastplates, heavy armor. It gives you tabled straight from the PHB for free. This update costs you nothing. You do not have to be a plus or pro level subscriber, every single person who uses Roll20 can go ahead and use this. This for me is absolutely incredible. This is something that I would pay money to have because it is such a huge update. Not only all the rules that you need in the game, monsters by name, monsters by challenge rating as a DM. This is so useful. This stuff isn't even easily accessible in the PHP. You have to do a fair amount of rooting around. So I can easily look at my party who are challenge rating 1, and I can easily find, okay, Harpy, okay, maybe I could use a giant toad. You click on them, what happens? All of the information on giant toads that I could possibly ever want. Actions, bite, swallow, it gives me the modifiers to hit, it gives me the HP, the speed, the strength, the whole stats, every single thing about this creature. This update is incredible. This changes the game as it comes to virtual tabletops, when it comes to online D&D in general. Feats, items, miscellaneous, have a look around at all of these things. Just have a root around, because you'll be amazed at the level of detail which Roll20 have gone to in this OGL SRD5 update. So you may well be thinking, well, I've had a game on the go already and we don't want to have to just start again because we've got all of our info in an existing game. This isn't a problem. It takes a few button changes to be able to get there. Let me show you. So, this is a game which I ran previously called the Dream of Albion. It's using the normal previous D&D 5th edition stuff. Game settings. Settings, game settings. Easy as this. As you can see, I am not a plus or a pro level subscriber. I go down here to the character sheet template, which you can see is community contributed. It could also be shaped if you like using those. I change this to OGL by Roll20. It changes all the sheets in the game with just a few clicks to these new sheets. Now, let me go and show you in the actual game itself, so I can prove to you guys that this actually works. It's the thing which is working. So let's click on Join Game and see exactly what's going on here. So there have been a few problems reported to me in stream that loot hasn't been saved by people. By the OGL change, a few items and stuff like this. This is all in the works. So this update came today, or if you're watching this, it came yesterday. So there's a few teething errors, but let's just think how much of a step forward this is here. I can afford to have a few errors in my character changes. So I'm going to click on a character called Agelrich, who was previously in the former sheets. So it comes up with this thing. It says, portion of the sheet, utilize content from the document under the OGL license. So this comes up with a little thing which is it's changed. So you click on core, and now this guy's stats are all straight up to, including his current hit points, his proficiency bonus, all of his skills I think need to be clicked again. So that's one thing which I've just noticed there. His passive wisdom is all the same. His spells need to be redone. That is one downside. What do I do for spells? That just takes me 2 minutes nowadays. That takes me going into spells and saying, oh, he has Awaken. Let's just add that. Let's just drag that spell into here, just like this. He has Bane. There we go. He now has that spell. So it probably takes you 3 to 5 minutes to update all of your character sheets straight over to make everything right. And I imagine very shortly in the future we won't even have to do that. So let's just think about the huge change which this has brought to the game of virtual tabletops. It has made the game so much more accessible for people. It's no longer takes you an hour, 3 hours, a whole day to make a character sheet for someone who's never played D&D before. It takes you 10 minutes. You don't even need a PHB. You can just go into Roll20 and find all of the rules easily there for you. This makes online D&D so much more accessible for people. There are going to be more people easily joining in games, playing games with us. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much easier for players that I have playing with me who've never played a game to quickly make up a character sheet and actually get to play D&D. There are some of us, we love making characters, we just love making character sheets, but that's not everyone. I think most people just want to play a bit of D&D. Sure, they love the character gen, but the easier the character gen is for people, the less thinking and maths and hard thinking which you have to do, the better. Certainly for me, if I was a new player, I would love this update because I could just drag and drop, and I'm done. I've got a character, and then I can start thinking about the roleplay, I can start thinking about the game. It also means if you want to drop into a game like the last minute, you can do it pretty quickly. It's not impossible anymore. I would say this is probably easier than just writing it down on a sheet. This is quicker, this is more efficient, whereas before I'd have probably said that, get your PHP, get your piece of paper and write it down. This is quicker, this is more accessible, this shows us how crazy the future for D&D Online could be. Where do we go from here? That's the question. Sure, okay, we need to iron out any problems that we have with this new update. Sure, that's going to happen pretty quickly, one can assume. And from there, it's crazy. The world is our oyster. This is a huge step forward for not only Roll20 but for D&D Online, and I can only hope to see the same from other virtual tabletops coming very soon, because Roll20 isn't perfect, but this certainly is a great addition, which I haven't seen in another virtual tabletop yet. Hopefully that is coming. So if you guys are interested in seeing landmarks in changes to Dungeons & Dragons and Dungeons & Dragons Online, I just genuinely think this is huge. I really do. Because making a spellcaster in particular used to be an absolute nightmare on Roll20. Making a character in general, pretty difficult. It took some time, took a lot of reading through the PHP, but people don't even need the rules now. I could just say to my friend who's never played D&D before, yo, come on to Roll20 tonight, it's free. You can get the rules, you can play D&D for free. Forever. So, guys, I would encourage you to go and change your sheets to this SRD5 if you haven't already. Or just mess around with them. Play with what's there. Play with all the tools available for the GM. Find out the extent of everything which is in this update, because I can't show you everything. There's literally too much. But I really think the spells and the monsters and the rules are super important for D&D and 5th edition and Dungeons & Dragons just in general on an online platform. So if you guys have enjoyed this, if you want to see more, maybe you want to see some more tutorials on Roll20, let me know in the comments down below, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. There's a video every single day on this channel on Encounter Roleplay, and we stream 5 nights a week at 4 PM EST, 9 PM GMT, playing different Dungeons & Dragons games, so do check us out. And of course check out Roll20 and this latest update, because I think you're going to enjoy it. Until next time, everybody, try not to roll too many nat ones, because I want to be here laughing when you do. Good night.